I've seen a Jason Statham movie.
The Transporter? Any one of the...
It's called Transformers, and that's a Shia LaBeouf movie.
Brunch! Hit it, boys!
So, Pete, I was in the movies today, and guess what dawned on me?
What dawned on you, Deej?
It's week 8 and football season is in full swing, which begs the question, how is your fantasy football team doing? Maybe you drafted a dud in the 4th round, or your first round pick is on the shelf with a bum knee. The good news is, it's not too late to forget the injuries and get back in the winning column with DraftKings 1 Week Fantasy Football! With DraftKings, there are many ways to play. Choose between public contests with big cash prizes or private contests where you can compete against a group of your friends. DraftKings also has beginner and casual contests where you'll play against people of similar skill level. The best part is, you get to draft a new team each week without any commitment. There's no better way to turn your love of football into cash this Sunday! So get to DraftKings.com now and use promo code BRUNCH to play free with your first deposit for your share of over $1 million in total prizes this Sunday. That's promo code BRUNCH to play free with your first deposit for your share of over $1 million. DraftKings, the game inside the game. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Lemon pepper chicken!
Hold on, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that whole thing again just to see.
No, don't do that again, please.
Okay, just really quickly. Just bear with me. Is week 8. And the football season is in full swing, which begs a question. How's your fantasy football team doing?
Stop this right now. We're good with that.
What accent was that?
I have no fucking
That's what
clue.
I was trying to do. I was trying to do the most, nondescript, what possible... No one could be offended by that accent. That wasn't a problematic accent.
It's not racist. It's not anything, because, again, it's not anything.
Slow. It wasn't anything.
That's what Happy Death Day should have done. They should have just done a nondescript, hey, guess what accent I'm doing here? What time are you going to the party?
Yeah, that was not that was... By the way, shouts out Becky. Becky is not the name of that character who said all that shit. Becky was the poor black girl who gets fat-shamed the whole movie.
Now you're kind of racist for just getting her name wrong.
Both of us. We were just being problematic as hell.
What's the other girl's name? She seems like a Becky.
Danielle.
Oh, well, Becky's way more fitting.
To my knowledge, Danielle is more a guitar god / rock icon.
Absolutely. Hey, and a quick little you're welcome to everybody listening here. This is our 4th episode this week. That is an all-time high for the Brunch podcast, so you're welcome.
Someone pointed that out, and honestly, we've been putting so much work into a little project we're working on. Side note, not a little project.
It's a fucking huge project.
Hopefully you like it by the time you fucking experience this project, but we've been putting in so much fucking time that I didn't even know that we've also recorded 4 fucking podcasts.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. We've just been slaving away at this project, and we're like, what was the last episode we did? It's got to be a week at this point, so we just black out. Also, one thing that we wanted to talk about right off the bat here is that our friends from Pardon My Take, our friends from Pardon My Take had their show canceled. Something that we're familiar with as a podcast. So
Pardon My Take has been canceled, so you guys can only listen to us from now on. So very sad for our internet pals, but life goes on. Brunch #1 podcast.
We are so for the people out there, if you're thinking of starting a podcast and dubbing yourselves the bad boys of podcasting, don't do that, because the track record is not very good of you keeping your TV show.
That's actually a very good point.
We had 2 episodes on TV.
Yeah, but we're not. People have asked about that. We're not on TV now because they were like, oh, bad job. Because they said
happened?
Like, hey, do you guys have any ideas you want to do or whatever? And honestly, we've been so focused on this thing, and there are so fewer Boston Sports Tonights on with Celtics season back, and before it was the baseball playoffs and shit. I don't want to fucking be
play
on TV
DraftKings
during
promo
the
code
baseball
brunch
playoffs, because then you have to talk about baseball.
I know.
The last baseball segment I did, I just said the question was hey, what are the Red Sox gonna do at third base? And I literally answered, I hate baseball.
Classic.
So over baseball.
Wonder why we didn't get another show out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, our friends from Pardon My Take, their show Barstool Van Talk, got ripped off the ESPN airwaves after one episode. That's very disappointing, and obviously there's been a lot of stuff that's come out. I know you've done a lot of battling over that, and I have as well.
It's like I don't even. I should have my hands have fucking laryngitis right now because they've screamed so much. No, hands don't get carpal tunnel. I'm kidding. Seriously, I've had the argument so many times, and I've had so many conversations with a lot of people I like, and I've looked at so many messages. I've been dumbfounded by. We're not all gonna fucking agree on what we think of Barstool and what we think of Pardon My Take. I know that as a guy who fucking cares, I don't know why I care, but I do. I care how men 18 to 34 behave. I want them to not be assholes. I'd like that little change to occur. And a lot of people look at what's problematic and what causes men 18 to 34 to be total dickbags. Pardon My Take is what corrects that shit. And if you've ever listened to Pardon My Take, you'll agree. If you haven't listened to Pardon My Take, you'll see the Barstool logo and you'll say, well, fuck that, they're problematic.
You'll form an uninformed opinion.
Incorrect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where I stand on. That's my biggest complaint is that people see the Barstool logo, they see the Barstool branding, and then they automatically assume that Pardon My Take or Barstool Van Talk falls under all the controversies that
is. What was the kid's name? The one who wrote the fucking thing about Rihanna?
Spags.
Yeah.
And so I understand the argument, like, well, they're under the umbrella, so like it's still promoting Barstool or whatever. Fine, whatever. I don't care. My biggest issue is when somebody presumes, who clearly doesn't know anything about Pardon My Take or Barstool Van Talk or even Big Cat or PFT. Like, they just see the Barstool name, they see the Barstool logo, and they immediately denounce something. And I think when you're talking about an entertainment company, and specifically a company that works in the comedy space, it's very, very important to identify individuals and what they bring to the table, rather than grouping an entire operation and automatically assuming that anybody who works under this umbrella is the exact fucking same thing.
The long and short of it is, people have an opinion of Barstool, and it's usually based on something that Dave did.
If anybody has a problem with Barstool, it's usually because of something that Dave did or something that KFC did.
And look, so I like Barstool. I enjoy their content. I'm obviously friends with Feidelberg and Carabas, and we know, and we've interacted enough with some of the guys on Twitter and shit. But I'm by no means fucking beholden to everything they do. So if I've seen Dave do shit that I don't like, that I think is offensive, and when people say hey, why did Dave say this? This thing was dumb. I disagree with this thing. I don't fucking get in a huff and defend him,
right? And not everything Dave says is a reflection of what Big Cat thinks or what PFT thinks or what anybody else at the company thinks.
And also, I'm not doing this to dump on Dave or anything. I don't think he makes any fucking lie about I'm going to say some things that piss some people off.
Immediately demonizing anybody that just works under a certain brand is stupid. I mean, that's like saying it may be somewhat of a stretch, but it's like saying. When I worked at Fox Sports, that's like saying, criticizing me because fucking Bill O'Reilly is fucking committing sexual misconduct or whatever it is, sexual harassment of employees or whatever, because I work under the Fox brand umbrella as well. It's and I see people say, well, if Big Cat and PFT want to separate them, want their product to be judged on its own, then they should leave Barstool and do their own thing. It's well, they've also gotten to where they are because Barstool has given them the freedom.
Who gave them that shot? Again, I think it's productive that Pardon My Take exists. I think that dudes hear these two people satirizing a lot of what A, sports fans are, and B, just what fucking young men are, and they. I don't think that people hear that and they're like, okay, I'm reformed. I'm not going to, fucking be a total tool. But I think they hear that and they're like, oh, yeah, that is stupid how sometimes, we do this or how, the biggest thing I love about Part of My Take is the way they satirize sports media.
Yeah.
Like I always, the one that always gets me is when they say people forget, because for years, fucking sports radio guys, whenever they brought up something fucking that no one forgot, would say people forget, and no one had pointed that out until PFT Commenter did. So, like, little things like that, and now, like, whenever I do fucking talk radio, I never say, oh, well, people forget this, because I'm now cognizant of that, because they've satirized it so well. So, if they do that with everything and apply that to, like, how fucking men behave, again, the Mount Rushmore of things chicks dig, when they it was basically a fucking clinic on
like
what girls don't want you to fucking...
And what idiot dudes do all the fucking time.
Right, and it was like change a girl's order when she orders dinner, like say, trust me, I know what you want. She'll like smoke in front of her. That shit's hilarious because I don't think many people are listening to that and they're like, oh, okay, good. They like they're clearly saying this to be like, these are douchey qualities. So,
and the numbers speak for themselves. It's the most fucking popular sports podcast in the world. They're doing something right. So to fucking say it's for... the thing that pissed me off the most was I know it's like the Daily Beast wrote the article saying that ESPN pulls misogynistic show off after one episode. That shit drives me crazy because there's nobody in the world who has ever listened to Pardon My Take or Barstool, or even the first episode of Barstool Van Talk. If you watch that episode, there's not a single thing that you could take away from that and be like, that's a misogynistic show. Right. So it drives me crazy. And those guys are good guys, and I know Big Cat even brought it up on the episode that they talked about getting pulled. Barstool as a company has said dumb shit in the past, and he recognized that. He recognized that he said dumb shit in the past. You know what? We've all fucking said dumb shit in the past. Don't dig up my old tweets, please. Like, don't fucking... It's happened... This has brought on, like, a fucking reckoning of sorts for social media.
Yeah, like a lot of the haters. Yeah, it's like doxing season.
You better know what fucking skeletons you have in your closet before you call somebody else out.
Yeah.
So I just think it's so fucking hypocritical for a lot of people just throwing fucking umbrella shade and blanket criticisms for stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to get that off my chest a little bit.
I got to shout out my coworker Trenny Kuznarek, who's awesome, and she's like me, super duper liberal. Like, sees something that if she sees something that she's like, dude, why the fuck are you doing this? She's generally going to say, dude, why the fuck are you doing this? And I tweeted after that, and she doesn't listen to Pardon My Take, and she has issues with things that Portnoy said, and I tweeted something to the effect of, really stupid move by ESPN. If we're trying, Pardon My Take, it mocks what's wrong with bro culture. They don't feed into it. They help to correct it. This is a step in the wrong direction. And she responded to my tweet and was like, come over to my desk and explain that to me. I went over to her and she was like, she was like,
she wasn't being condescending or anything.
She was like, what does that mean? Yeah. Because she was like, I see that, and I see Barstool show goes on ESPN. They've done this stuff in the past. Like, what do you mean this is a good thing? And I explained it to her. I gave her the example of the Mount Rushmore of things chicks dig. And another one of my coworkers was standing there, and he was over my shoulder like, yes. Mm-hmm. Like, these are the good guys. And a lot of people have responded to that being like, well, you may think they're good guys, blah, blah. There's a difference between being good guys and being the good guys, you know?
Yes,
so, like, if you view Barstool
the good guys are the guys that are pointing things in the right direction.
Exactly. The ones that are helping, not hurting. And, I mean, again, Portnoy will say things that will fucking rile people up. I don't think that he's sitting down every day trying to say, like, how can I be the most hurtful person in the world? And if he's done shit that's hurtful, then fucking by all means go after him all day. But by and large, since I have consumed Barstool, like, when I saw the thing about Rihanna, I was like, what the fuck, dude? And within however many days, that guy was gone.
Right, yeah.
And like, my Barstool experience has not been that. And I know that if I were into it 5, 6, 7 years ago, it would have been. But you know what? Like, when I thought it was a super, super bro-y thing, like, I remember I interned with a kid who was always talking about, like, hey, man, you gotta do the guess that ass. And, like, the first, like, 2 or 3 times I was like, okay, this is oh, hey, I guess the ass. And then I was like, all right, man, I'm kind of over this. But Barstool, as I know it now, is fucking Chaps, who is an angel with the shit that he's done, with the money he's raised, for the things he's raised it for. Again, PFT, who's a fucking genius. Big Cat, who, again, I've never fucking met Big Cat. Listen to his episode of KFC Radio, where it's just him and Kevin. Yeah. Big Cat seems like the sweetest fucking person to ever walk the earth.
Yeah, and I mean, like, when you consider the amount of content that Barstool churns out on a daily basis, and the fact that when people criticize them, they're fair criticisms, but also the things that most people go back to the well for are like incidents that happened and shit that they did 5, 6, 7 years ago, and somewhat recently. There's been recent shit, but it's like very far and few in between, and it's like they do all this fucking content, and it's shit that was put out 5 years ago that was in bad taste, sure, but you can't fucking correct that. They've clearly moved into like a better place with better people and made better judgments, and I mean, people are still rooting for them to fail, and I kind of understand if you want to root for them to fail. That's like your fucking prerogative, whatever. I just want people to have informed opinions and know what the hell they're talking about when they criticize specific offshoots of Barstool, like Pardon My Take and like Barstool Van Talk.
And that's always my thing. Again, like, this isn't coming from like I love all those Barstool guys, right? Like, but this isn't coming from a place of me saying, like, how dare you go after Barstool? Like, go after fucking whoever, like, go
anybody.
After Brunch.
There's a lot of terrible things that get put on the internet.
Yeah,
I've put terrible things on the internet.
By all means,
every website puts terrible things on the internet.
But my biggest issue, and it's in my work, it's when I get the most fucking pissed on TV, when I fucking see shit written about Taylor Swift. I lose my mind. I just hate when people are fucking wrong and don't seem to care.
If you're going to speak with conviction on something, know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right, and like when people don't seem to, like, when we're wrong about shit, it's kind of the joke when we're like, oh, who's the person in that movie? Oh yeah, we'll decide it's this person. Let's keep talking about this. And like someone tweeted at us, like, DJ and Pete talking about dresses. Just every word of it is wrong, but they seem like they're having a good time, you know? But if you're gonna get fucking fired up, I got into, again, a million fucking arguments this week, and I grew so fucking frustrated that people would rather continue the argument than go spend a fucking hour, 2 hours checking it out so you could, because, like, also the reason Trenny called me over to her desk was she was like, I know you. I know that you're like the biggest fucking snowflake in the world. You wouldn't be championing something that's bad. So it's like, dude, like,
seriously, listen to the shit that we've said in the past. How riled up we get over the littlest things, the littlest fucking things. And if we're spending this much time defending Pardon My Take and whatever, it's like, obviously it's not what you're making it out to be. So that's all. I mean, we fucking just spent 15 minutes.
I should also say that I deny Michael Jackson having ever done anything wrong because he was so fucking good. So as a podcaster, I think that fucking Big Cat and PFT are the two best to ever do it. Better than like Marin, because I don't listen to podcasts. Sometimes I listen to our own.
Well, I mean, Marin is very different.
Yeah,
so
but I'm saying like those two are the gods. So I'll admit that
you don't listen to podcasts, and they got you to listen to podcasts.
Right. Yeah. Right. I get fired up that people are attacking them like they're this bad thing when really they aren't. And you know what? Like, if they do shit that you think is dumb, again, fucking go after them. But wait till they do it before you start fucking saying how problematic they are.
So
anyway,
that's us spending 15 minutes promoting, and that's us spending 15 minutes giving free promo to Pardon My Take, which certainly needs it.
Yeah. How about this?
R.I.P. Barstool Van Talk.
Yes. Also, check out Brunch Minivan Talk coming to the Ocho, ESPN Classic. Trains are the new bachelorette parties.
What the the fuck does that mean?
They are.
Trains?
Trains are the new bachelorette parties because I was in a theater and I saw a preview for another fucking Mystery on a Train movie.
Murder on the Orient Express. And
so
what
that's
else?
the main. That's
yes,
the biggie.
That's the main attraction.
There's now that they're coming out with a Liam Neeson action movie on a train, but it seems like it's kind of going more for Murder on the Orient Express than it is for Speed. And we're gonna have a. So when I say bachelorette party, the two bachelorette parties.
Okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like Liam Neeson.
Except there isn't a black one that looks way better.
That's true. I feel like Liam Neeson's trying to check off all the boxes because didn't a few years ago he had that movie that basically looked like fucking Taken, but it was on a plane?
Oh, yeah. Well, that happens with action stars, I think. They did that with Kiefer Sutherland. They were like, look, we won't have you play Jack Bauer again.
But we're going to put you in the White House, and we'll just make you the president.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that looks bad, and I had this question. How did Liam Neeson become a fucking, like, the go-to action guy? What has he been?
Oh, he's for
140?
sure not the go-to action guy.
Well, he's not the go-to.
He does action.
He's not like Jason Statham?
Yes.
I don't think I've seen a Jason Statham movie.
The Transporter? Any one of the...
It's called Transformers, and that's a Shia LaBeouf movie.
Good call. I'm sorry about that. I don't think anybody knows. I think like at one point Liam Neeson just decided that he wanted to do action, and Hollywood was just like, okay.
But he did it so fucking right.
I think his wife died, and he was like really sad.
Is that inspired by Taken? Is inspired, or that would be Taken?
No, Taken. Love Actually was inspired.
3 is inspired by. Oh yeah, Love Actually.
Yeah, so his wife just keeps dying.
Liam Neeson is a big widower.
Yes,
guy.
I think at some point they just like let him do whatever he wanted. Just
have you ever seen? I think we've discussed this, and I think your answer is yes. Have you seen The Grey?
That's the Wolf movie, right?
Yeah.
I have not seen it, but I know that it's terrible.
It's just about Liam Neeson getting into fucking fist fights with wolves for like a long time, and he's with a bunch of friends, and one by one, the wolves eat his friends. But Liam Neeson just keeps, he just keeps like fighting the wolves.
Did he write that one himself?
Yeah. Well, the movie ends with like a wolf staring him down, and they're both kind of like, make your move. And then they both lunge at each other and the movie ends. And I'm like,
no,
it
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that sounds like a gigantic piece of shit. But I think it's one of those jobs where in the credits, they show, it's like a zoomed out thing. They show him like lying down, and you can't tell if he's breathing or not. Oh,
but you can tell there's definitely not going to be a sequel to this, so we're just going to be left to our devices.
One thing that we didn't point out in The Snowman in our review is that they left it open-ended at the end, where he raises his hands, and then they roll the credits.
Oh yeah, wait, what does he raise his hand?
To take on a new case. So they're like, just in case we get a sequel to this one.
Yeah. God.
Can you imagine making that movie and be like, hey, man, we're definitely scoring
some
big
room
on
for
this
ice cream.
one.
Yeah. Let's use that term when we're talking about movies.
What, leaving room for ice cream?
They leave room for ice cream. That Spider-Man movie left room for ice cream. But they showed Michael Mando at the end. Remember?
That's true, yeah.
Michael Mando in prison. We got it. How has Michael Mando not been on this fucking podcast? Who's fucking booking our guests? Also, saw another preview for Daddy's Home 2. I know we've discussed Daddy's Home 2 before.
Yeah.
And I don't know what my take was, so I'm probably going to totally reverse course. Daddy's Home 2 is going to be a lot better than Daddy's Home, the orig.
I mean, that's not saying much, but
I know that was the worst fucking movie ever.
It could be. I will say the first batch of trailers didn't do John Cena much justice because he wasn't seen at all. And then they released the new trailer, and it's like, hey, John Cena's a pretty big part of this movie.
You know what I found out recently?
Yeah.
One of my friends is John Cena's body double in that movie.
Well, congrats to your friend for being just a ginormous human being.
He is a lovely and really fucking scary dude.
Okay, that makes sense.
Terrifying.
I've been told that I look like John Cena. Did you know that? I mean, not body-wise.
Which liar? Yeah.
By not body-wise, but like by my face, which is a weird thing. But I think it's a thing where I've been also said that I look like Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon. Like, pretty much every generic...
Well, you look like Matt Damon, for sure.
Yeah, but I think that everybody just groups in guys from Boston together, and they just say that I look like every guy from Boston.
You know who I've been told I look like? Let's take some guesses.
Andrew Garfield.
I've not gotten Andrew Garfield, but Andrew Garfield more accurate than some of the other ones I've gotten. Though the big one is young Joseph Stalin, which is so fucked up because everyone points out that I look like young Joseph Stalin, and now the new thing is to tweet about how hot young Joseph Stalin was.
Ooh.
So like,
you can't really
I
brag
kind of
about
want to
that.
like retweet it and be like, oh, but you don't want to look like that guy.
Well, I mean, you can look like that guy. You just don't want to follow in his footsteps.
Don't want to behave like him. But
can you imagine if like Hitler was like a really handsome guy?
He for sure wasn't.
Huh?
Hitler was gross.
No, he was terrible.
Yeah,
and he had a micro penis.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is that? I think I've read that before. Is that actually true?
I think so.
I feel gypped because when I was a kid, I would fucking like read Hitler books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this. You like
serial killers?
Yeah, you like serial killers.
Yeah.
After I saw Life is Beautiful, I could not fucking believe that that fucking guy existed, and I went to the fucking library and I got a Hitler book. And everyone was like, "Wow, DJ's been
this
really
little
well
fucking
behaved in
psychopath."
class." No, like I was finally like I wasn't calling out and shit, and they were like, "Wow, DJ's been a really good student. It seems that he's really enjoying that Hitler book." So yeah, that's Hitler books. We have a lot of reviews.
We have
huh?
a shitload of reviews.
All right, read 'em all.
Apparently, people have been feeling inspired to leave us reviews now that we've made it super easy for them. You can leave us a review at listentobrunch.com/reviews. So these are some of the ones that we got this week. Bad Boys, Best Boys by Sames92. The only bad things about this podcast is that you'll have to get all your friends to listen to it because you'll want to talk about it all the time. Cool.
Sames, thank you. It's Wednesday and I'm writing a review. I said that like the mayor in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Jack! You haven't seen that movie?
Nope.
Well, you're going to hate my fucking songs. It's Wednesday and I'm writing... I didn't do it. That sounded like Alec Baldwin in 30 Rock when he goes, Dynamite! By R. Daniel 19. Brunch is simply amazing. The back and forth between DJ and Pete reminds me of my best friend and my best friend and me, who also listens to this podcast religiously. You guys are awesome. Keep up the good work, bruvs. I like it.
Ooh, all right. And here is a fucking novel that we got from London Girl 2012.
You want to split this up?
Yeah, we can just like wing it.
You will do a. Do like? Do you ever do it when you raise your hand and then like kind of pass it off from there? Yeah,
a nice little toss.
It's like a reading in class type thing.
My sincere apologies about the length, but it's been a while since somebody wrote you a soliloquy. In the midst of the Bible Belt, I didn't find religion. I found brunch.
The sentence. For more context, I was in rural North Carolina working for the Hillary campaign. Good job. Just kidding.
Way to suck at your job.
Should have been in rural Wisconsin. Seriously, I for sure voted for Hillary and was devastated when she lost. Running county operations in the heroin capital of the state. Amidst my 20-hour workdays, endless driving, and experiential education, I was listening to every hockey podcast I could find on repeat. One day, I happened upon Brunch and made the completely reasonable assumption, because it was DJ and Pete, that it would be another hockey-centric podcast to add to my repertoire.
No, I'm not going to raise my hand. You can just finish this one.
Oh, you dick.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll take this one. Although my assumptions were proved wrong, I found 2 new friends. This became rather problematic as they were the only friends that I was interacting with on a day-to-day basis, and we couldn't engage in conversation. But I digress. While binging the entirety of the episodes available, Brunch became a highlight of my week. It was there last November when I didn't have the wherewithal to interact with anything, even Parks and Rec level politically. It also became there when the Capitals played the Leafs in the first round, and I started yelling at all of the other podcasts because not every hockey fan lives in Toronto. Parentheses, I mean my dad is, which is why I'm a hockey fan, but still. And when the curse of DC sports fandom took hold in the second round, Pete and DJ present a hysterical, relatable, and wildly engaging podcast with their magnificent banter.
Be it a Zac Efron heat check, weatherman check-ins, handlebar plugs, or phenomenal ad reads, every functioning social person should have brunch in their lives. P.S. Brunch needs to get in on The Good Place. It is a match made in heaven. Just ask Kathy. P.P.S. Yes, the nickname is a reference to the Olympics. It was my passive-aggressive way of telling my parents that my Olympic mania was not a phase every time they got an email from me. After 3 years of guilt tripping, it did wind up working. Who says the long game doesn't pay off? Thanks, London girl.
I don't even know what that end part meant.
I was more focused on just reading.
Yeah, so, thanks, London girl. Patrick Shrugged says, the only redeeming thing about New England, 2 Boston bros talking movies and pop music. Surprisingly good.
So, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Let's see. We have so many of these. MN Asadu says, so good it's ruined all our podcasts for me. Pete and DJ make my commute bearable. Keep the bad movie recaps coming. Aren't we due for another Hawkeyes episode?
Thinking emoji. Always brunchin', says Biz Nessie. Sofa. King good.
Good show, says Steve Harvey. Somehow entertaining. Good movie breakdowns. They really get into random bands that I'll never listen to. 4 stars.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh,
Steve Harvey.
Hey.
Suck my dick.
Suck off. Fuck a dick.
Speaking of suck my dick, hey, here's a review from Ellen Carabas, Jared Carabas' mom.
Nice.
I love the theme song so much. Unbelievable banger to start my Monday and Fridays. Amazing podcast by the baddest boys of podcasting.
Nice. That was very friendly. That was very good stuff. What was that 4-star review about? He fucking slipped that in there.
Yeah, he really did. He fucking conned you.
Yeah, and he ended it with, like,
just
I gave it 4 stars.
Just to point it out that he really did give us 4 stars.
Once you read the whole fucking thing. Yeah, well, that's a fucking doozy. Let's talk Moo. We got new Moo today. She didn't say that she had an EP dropping. She said she had a song dropping. The song came out. I was in fucking heaven, and you texted me, and you were like, wow, whole EP? And I was like, no, Pete, just a song.
You waved your finger at me. You were very
no, Peter.
Do you know what a single means?
Yeah, right. I was like, I know that you have trouble with singles. So actually, a single is just one song, Pete. But nice, that's not what EP, because you said EP.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not what an EP is.
But it can't be a mistake because it was on both iTunes and Spotify.
Right, and then she tweeted it. Later in the day.
So she really buried the lead by saying, hey, here's my new single. And then 8 hours later being like, oh yeah, my whole EP's out, check it out. And so that was exciting for the 20 minutes that I thought maybe this was a horrible mistake on her part. And I was like, guess I got to listen to this entire thing right now.
Well, I did that anyway. I was like, oh, fuck. Because
I was going to do that anyway, but I for sure was going to hear all the songs if possible. So I sped through them. The single though that she actually promoted is unbelievable.
It is the fucking it's maybe top 3 Moo drops, top 5 Moo songs overall.
The song actually it gave me, I don't know if you're gonna even know what I'm talking about here, but it gave me a Pink Panther vibe. During the dance break,
exactly. Well, it's like a very I say hippie, not meaning 60s. I mean it gets the hips moving. Yeah. It's
can make you slide across the floor,
right?
Stealthily.
It's like you maybe some little finger wagging.
Yes.
I said to Feidelberg, it makes me want to commit crime, but real sexy.
Oh, that's right. That's a pretty good descrition of that song. I'm gonna give it to you.
Smoking cigarettes with
with the long extension, the Cruella de Vil extension.
Should we start doing that?
we should vape with the extension.
Yes, and that way it won't explode in your face.
Is that a thing that's happened?
It can explode in your face.
I'm not a drug guy, but what? A dick? Talking about dicks? Talking dicks.
No, it can seriously explode in your face. Google it. Google vape explosion. You'll get pictures of people with their faces blown off. And they live. they live in just like they look like fucking Harvey Dent.
Ooh,
it's not a good look.
If
but
if a vape pen explodes in my face, just fucking kill
it
me.
happens with it happens if it's a really cheap one though.
Oh, okay.
It's typically not the good stuff. So
okay, good to know. Yeah, do we want to get to music? Why not?
Just
because
jump
we're gonna have
music,
some moo in here anyway.
Yeah, but before we jump into it, I loved every single one of those songs.
They were all good.
Yeah,
there was no bad song.
Yeah.
What is there, like 6?
I think so.
If you're going to put 6 songs on an EP, they better all be fucking
Exactly.
good.
You can't have 2 bad ones.
So the single that you promoted today is called When I Was Young, and that's what the EP is called. I'm going to add that for one of my ads. I'm also going to add Wishing Wells by The Colorist.
Okay.
Have you heard that song?
I Made a Wish in a Well. Don't ask me, I'll never tell.
That's a Katy Perry song, isn't it?
It's a Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, that's right. That's
By the
Call
way,
Me
I got to
Maybe.
shout out my guy for the fucking millionth time in a row. Stephen Horowitz had the funniest tweet in the world. It was me. I don't care about Halloween. My crush. I love carving pumpkins. Me. And then it was a picture of a pumpkin he carved that said Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't... it's very weird to guess a song speaking the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, so if you had said that in tune, I would have been like, oh, Carly Rae, but they sounded like a stupid lyric, so I was like, oh, Katy Perry.
I didn't realize that You're the Worst is in the middle of a season.
Oh, really?
I thought that I...
Were you waiting?
Yeah. I was
Okay.
like, all right, there's 3 seasons or whatever, and then I was off the other day, and How I Met Your Mother was on. What, am I not going to sit around fucking crushing How I Met Your Mother episodes? It was season 1, fucking Robin wearing jeans. Mwah. And the commercial was like...
This podcast just is like very good at associating just random pieces of clothing with women. Robin Wright dresses.
Robin Scherbatsky jeans. Yeah. Kobe Smulders is her name. But
Kobe Smulders. Who else? There's... Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore dresses.
but not like cocktail dresses.
Right, a dress. What is... When I saw the quote, like... I laugh at a lot of my own jokes because they're very funny, but I laughed really loudly when I saw... Because I could just like hear myself saying it when it said... Julianne Moore wears dresses well. Specifically, a dress.
A dress.
It sounds like something like my fucking like Armenian grandfather would say,
Not
where
like-
you would just throw like approximately at the end of a sentence.
The Colorist, I found out about them this week. It's like they're old news at this point. I'm pretty sure they're like half broken up, but
Ooh.
I really like the this Wishing Well song, so I'm adding that. And then a classic here to round it out. How big of a Snow Patrol guy are you?
I think that they were the last group over which I judged people.
Oh, really?
I think that was like the last time I was like, oh, you like, let me guess, you like Chasing Cars. Chasing Cars is a fucking smash record.
Yeah, and but their first album, I don't even know if it's their first album, but the one with like 2 people walking in the snow, and it's like kind of a brownie album.
These guys are huge into snow.
Yeah. So I forget what the name of that album's called, but Spitting Games is a really good song off of that. I'm going to add that to the playlist as well.
Cool. I'm kind of all over the map for my songs, and I love it. I don't care. Am I right? Let's see. So I'm going to toss a Moose song off the CP on there. I'm going to throw Linking With You on there. Drums at the end of the song. Cuckoo. Just this. It was like the Jaimiest of a Moose song. It's Halloween. Mm-hmm. People forget that it's Halloween season. Yes. A lot of spooky music.
Okay.
Thriller.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yes.
People knowing how to do the Thriller dance. Never impressive. Not worth learning the Thriller dance because have I told you? We did this last year.
Yes, we did this on the video.
Just fucking tell people you can do the Thriller dance. No one's gonna fucking ask you to see it.
Yes.
No one wants to see it. So I know how to do the Thriller dance. So I'm not going to add Thriller. I'm going to add another kind of Halloween-y type vibe. Danny Elfman's band Oingo Boingo. Dead Man's Party. Danny Elfman voiced and, of course, wrote the music for The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Cool.
And I, Jack, the Pumpkin King, right?
Yeah, sure. The Snow Patrol album's called Final Straw, by the way.
Who?
So, fact drop on you. I kind of want to add another Moo song to the jukebox, just for fun.
Go ahead.
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim's a good one.
Very good song.
Yeah.
So it's a little bonus for you guys.
Cool.
Trick or treat.
I'm going to add, as my third song, I never did anything when Walter Becker died. When Walter Becker died, everyone's like, oh my god, Walter Becker, Steely Dan. And Steely Dan fans are so fucking fartsy. And I'm a Steely Dan fan. And when I see Steely Dan fans being Steely Dan fans, it's like you either want to jump all the way into that or you don't. And I just kind of wasn't feeling it when everyone was all being
Sounds
whiny
like
about
Fish.
Yeah, it's
Fish fans can
It's a
like,
big
suck
thing
my
to
dick.
out yourself as a Steely Dan fan. Like, when people find out you like Steely Dan, they're like, oh, great. This fucking guy. Let me guess, you want to talk about Steely Dan?
It's like one of those bands that fucking, that's all you ever want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's like Fish. That's all. Fish heads, all they want to do is fucking talk about Fish and how many times they've seen Fish and how great Fish was live.
You know
I don't
who's...
give a shit.
I know. You know who's a big Steely Dan fan? Big celebrity Steely Dan fan?
Who?
John Mulaney.
Oh, yeah?
John Mulaney's like chief Steely Dan fan. So I'm going to add my favorite Steely Dan song, which is Fire in the Hole.
Okay.
It's just, if you ever heard it, it's just fucking great. I won't even start. It's so fucking good. So.
Okay. So that's the jukebox. Speaking of Halloween, Stranger Things Season 2 is coming out today.
Yes.
Drops on Netflix today.
Yes.
We'll get to that next week because we're going to have to take some time to watch it, obviously.
Yep, and we'll check in with...
We'll be joined by our pal.
We'll see if we can get someone from the show.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's your guess.
Unrelated.
The answer may surprise you.
Unrelated, I want to ask you, is it good or bad for our brand if Randall Havens, a.k.a. Mr. Clarke on Stranger Things, is it good or bad for our brand if he dies in Season 2?
It is good.
It's good for our brand?
Yeah, I think that no matter what Randy does, it's good. I think that if Randy...
It's a spin zone.
Yeah, if Randy gets bigger and bigger and bigger this season, and it's like, hey, Finn, get out of here. You're out of the friend group. We're replacing you with Mr. Clarke. He's one of the main characters now. He's always hanging out with fucking the other kids. That's the group now. They're all friends. Finn, done. Get out of here. That'd be great. And then, like, Season 3, there can be a trial and all that shit. That'd be great. A lot of good stuff for Randy. But if Randy fucking never does another episode of Stranger Things, and I love Stranger Things, Randy has a burgeoning film career that is really ramping up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of where I'm at. It's like
Randy's the one who gets us to Cuba Gooding Jr. Yes. He's the guy who gets us to Zac Efron. We've had guests who know Zac Efron. We had one guest who has met Zac Efron, and we're not hitting him up to say, get us Zac Efron. We know that Randy is... If he's fucking nice enough to still know us when he is fucking hobnobbing with Zachy E.
Here's the thing. Here's how I look at it. Randy has already proven at this point that he's bigger than Stranger Things. He's doing Holiday Inn commercials. He's fucking in Logan Lucky.
More facial hair than most of the cast.
Yes.
Because they're a bunch of fucking children
who don't know how to keep a house.
Yes.
So if Randy dies on Stranger Things, we're talking about like he's going full hard in on his film career and he's going to become a star. And also, he gets to disclose... some Stranger Things.
Doesn't have an NDA
dirt.
anymore. Doesn't work for him.
He's got some dirt that he can share with us on Stranger Things, and they're not zipping his lips.
Plus, if Randy dies, maybe as Stranger Things gets bigger, they get more cash. So this season, they played the song Thriller. So they've got fucking money because it costs money to be able to get the rights for those things. So Stranger Things getting more and more money, maybe... Randy dies, they hire a fucking Emmy-winning TV writer. Lena's writing for the show suddenly. Now because Randy's not on the show, they need a spot, and they say, and Lena says, I can get you 2 guys for the price of 1. Suddenly,
2 guys for the price of none.
We're in the mix, and we're the second Aunt Viv.
What if, yes, what if Randy dies in Season 2, and then Season 3 stinks, and everybody looks back and says, what went wrong?
I thought that you were going to say Randy dies in season 2. It's really bad. And then at the end of season 2, they say, it was all a dream. And then they get to decide whether they still want to kill him.
Randy dies in season 2. Season 3 stinks. The next season stinks. People look back, they say, what went wrong? And they see, hey, Mr. Clarke died in season 2. And then it all went downhill from there. And then Randy becomes a star.
They would say, oh, is that a candy cane? No, it's Stranger Things living that Randy pain because they don't have the magic touch anymore.
Hey, is that a candy cane? Or are you just excited to see me? That was a penis joke.
No, I'm excited. It's just seem bigger.